Hey there everybody, I'm Alfred, and I'd like to talk about the movie American Underdog. Now let me just read the official synopsis. The story of NFL MVP and Hall of Fame quarterback Kirk Warner, who went from stocking shelves at the supermarkets to becoming an American football star. Now, this is very interesting. I've just seen the trailer and it's starring Shock, the guy who played the role of Shock in the series. This is a family movie. This is an American football movie that actually reads just like a lot of Christian movies that are on Pure Flix, have done, and also within the same genre. And quite frankly, did it better, but I guess with a smaller budget. But that being said, it's nice that they are making family movies, and inspirational stories. Then again, it's based on a real individual's life. I would like to know the God aspect. Of course, when it is done via Hollywood, let us say there's a Christianity aspect to it. There's the God aspect to it. Pastor, his relationship with God, and that's pulling him through and helping him out with the tough spots in his career. That kind of stuff doesn't come out in the movies that are presented by Hollywood, and it begs the question why. For example, Dr. Ben Carson, way back in the day, I believe in the early 90s, when his book, I think it was the first one, Gifted Hands, when it was to be published, the big name publisher dropped him because he would not remove God from it. And this is way back then. This is somebody's autobiography. How can you be telling the person, well, you cannot put your faith and your beliefs in your autobiography? It goes to show you the whole entire concept of propaganda and people pushing forth rhetorics via the companies they own. It is not new. It has only gotten worse now. How do you tell somebody like that, that Dr. Brenkasi, if you don't remove God, will drop you? But he ended up publishing his book with a Christian publisher, and left the God aspect there. Because, how is someone's autobiography original when that person leaves out what truly inspired them and what truly changed their lives? The vital important things in their autobiography. And it goes without saying, there are a lot of documentaries out there that is all propaganda. They remove anything that pushes forth a certain rhetoric. As a matter of fact, there are courses in school, there are courses in Harvard that claim to be under journalism. And in this new style of journalism, it is a social justice journalism where it's like you have social responsibilities. So if you're a journalist and an African American kills other African Americans, by covering that, you are not being socially responsible. You are aiding and abetting a rhetoric that will aid racism and ill feelings towards African Americans, that, oh, look at what they are doing. So that is what the new journalists are being taught in school. They're actually taught to be agents of propaganda, and it is disguised as being socially responsible, believing in justice, believing in equality. They will use nice sounding names to clothe every evil thing they do, just like abortion. They call it women's rights. Like if the two could not be any more opposed to each other. You see, but that being said, it's very important that as Christians, we make our movies, we push our movies like this, movies that are better, and make sure that people are not silenced. As a matter of fact, when it comes to a bunch of people, not just celebrities, everybody has a story to tell, also their autobiographies. We should establish systems, and that is something that I'll be doing with, the aspect of Alfred and Friends that is for book publishing, as well as the aspect of it that is for entertainment and creating movies and cartoons. We need to go to people, reach out to people. Everybody has a story to tell. You know, as long as it's a story that people want to hear, it then becomes marketable and something that can be used to advance the gospel and to flood the atmosphere with word and information about God. And that is something that needs to be done. You know, we need to let God be number one in people's minds, in business, and in everything else, in anything that concerns Him. You know, in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. We should create a scenario where this is the reality of everybody in this world. The world is trying to push forth LGBT and leftism and CRT. Any new evil thing they come up with, they want it to be foremost in our minds. They want it to guide our direction. They want it to guide our thoughts of everybody. The same people who claim to be against colonization are carrying out the worst type of colonial ethnic cleansing there is. And ethnic cleansing of ideologies, any opposing ideology, any new ideology they come up with, they want everybody to buy into it and to hold fast to it and to hate and to fight against anybody who refuses it. We must be the ones who push our own ideology, which is truth, which is Jesus, for Jesus is truth. You know, the gospel must be pushed forth and it should be foremost in people's minds. You know, that is what we should do. You know, one person is going to win. But one thing is for sure, the person that doesn't get into the fight has already lost, even before the fight began. So if you are perhaps saying, should a Christian go to all these things? Why should a Christian be concerned with putting God first in people's mind? Why should people have to think about God first? The devil is making sure that he puts his will and his thoughts in people's minds, that they think about doing things his way first, that they think about not fooling God, that they think about the paths that will lead to them being destroyed. You know, for the enemy's goal is to kill, steal, and destroy. You know, that being said, if you are down, you like to be a part of making Christian movies, you know, movies, not movies that are Christian movies in the sense of this is the category. No, we are going after everything. We are going to make vampire movies Christian, werewolf movies, sports movies, every single thing. Of course, obviously minus porn, you know, but even that, we reach out to the people in those industries and perhaps make documentaries about reaching out to them and their testimonies of them coming out of that lifestyle, and also putting out information that will prevent people from going into that lifestyle. So that can actually be the creation of a new category or genre that will replace that previous genre and will address people and make people be straightened, you know, aligned right when it comes to their thoughts on sensuality and sexuality. It has to be replaced by God's mind. It has to be replaced by God's thoughts on the subjects. You know, that being said, you know, reach out to us on Alfred.vip, you know, if you like to be a part of making movies, you know, or perhaps you want to start your own movie company or your own entertainment company, whether it's video game, music, whatever, reach out to us on Alfred.vip. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you and God bless you.